In Los Angeles, and it is Tuesday, September 10th, AD 2024. The debates today between Trump and cackling Kamala Harris, and our greatest president and our worst vice president. Is she the worst? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I'm live on YouTube and Rumble and other platforms. I got invited, by the way, we'll see what happens, to go on Drunken Peasants to comment on the debate alongside a Antifa guy, I think, whom I talked to on Drunken Peasants a year or so ago. And anyway, that would be this evening if it happens. I don't know. I'm going to have to see. I'll have to let you guys know later. It'll be on the hakereport.com/appearances if it's going to happen. Okay? But it might not. But it might. American Anchor Baby, I heard, is going to stream the show, stream the debate. So isn't that cool? But what are we going to talk about today? I wanted to touch on some of the news. The diversity is down on the college campuses. I was interested in that black football player story, his interaction with the police. And of course, people on X replying to JLP Talk on X. I'm the Hake Report, by the way, on X. I'm not that active, but I do check it. I do see your tweets in general. We're like, why the police act like that when the black guy was clearly way more wronger than the black guy. The black guy was way more wrong than the police. Oh, the police shouldn't have taken him out of the car. I don't know. Nice shirt, says Just Ang. Thank you. Yeah, I'm wearing the Hake Report t-shirt. Oh, speaking of stuff, let me get my stuff ready to get going here. The lines are, is it me or the line's full? That's pretty wild. I will try to get to all of your calls. I do appreciate them, guys. We will have a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report show. But I do want to get to some of this content stuff. If not today, then like this week. Look at these beautiful... let's get some Haitians to grab them for us. These beautiful... We're looking at the beach. And the chicks are neat. They're not chicks. Those are not even baby chickens. They are seagulls hanging around with Hake on the shore, on the seashore. We are going to talk about maybe this dumb fact check about white on white crime and black on black crime that I just happened to see in my history. But I don't know if I'll get to it today, okay? But I'm just saying that the mainstream media, they're dumb. They don't even know how to process numbers and information. You know what I mean? And they don't give you the whole story, the whole picture. So it's ridiculous. It's both dishonest. Oh, by the way, I saw some super chats come in. Thank you, guys. Some interesting super chats. I will comment on them as well. Is it okay to call a Supreme Court justice cute? But, anyway, guys, let me just make sure that I'm set to go over here. Whoa! Oh, yeah. Let's just get right on with the show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Is it me or is this music? Is this beautiful beach scenery nice and loud? I like it. Oh yeah, that's good. Thank you. It is a nice, is it quiet or is it loud? I wonder how loud it's cranked. I have it relatively quiet. We're looking at if you're watching the feed, we're looking now underneath the beautiful boardwalk in Santa Monica, California. This is like a year or two ago. When was this? 2022. That's like 2 years ago. In beautiful November. Very nice. You can see the barnacles and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm wearing my nice Hake t-shirt. My nice Hake t-shirt. You can get yours by going to thehakereport.com and looking for the Teespring link in the thing. The Teespring link. Let me just double check some things going around here. Let me tell you first about what's going on in the world, because the universities are no longer so diverse anymore. So they are affirmative action people, by and large. Shout out to Spoiler Alert for the tips, as always, man. But in the news, in Hake News today, I had mentioned that diversity is down on college campuses. And that's an update from the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. They're talking about the Trump-Harris debate, cackling Kamala Harris, pretending like, look at her, dressed up in all, like, business-type suit. It just, sometimes it's kind of cute, but it just doesn't suit a gal. Suits are meant to suit you, and it doesn't tend to suit a woman to wear a suit, in my opinion. And my opinion is just the truth, brother. Diversity is down at some of the most prestigious colleges. I remember one of my doctor friends, high school friends really, told me, how come you're just going to Pasadena City College? Why don't you go to a more prestigious school? Because I was like smarter than him. I'm like, maybe because I'm kind of dumb in a sense. I just wanted to go to school just to run. I wasn't excited about going to school. I just wanted to run cross country. My career was unsatisfactory to me at that point. I had gotten into running, cross country, track. A number of universities have reported a significant drop in the enrollment of black, and they capitalized the B in the word black. The only reason it's capitalized is because of George Floyd, Georgia, Florida. It's the kiss up, capital B. And Hispanic students. People are questioning, how come you capitalize Jew but not white or black? Because the word Jew it's a proper name, right? White and black are not proper names. Duh. Hispanic too, because that's like Hispania, Spain. Anyway, black and brown students this year's incoming class following the so-called and righteous Supreme Court ruling nixing affirmative action. According to the anti-Trump Rhino outlet, the Wall Street Journal. This includes the universities of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and Brown University. Last year, 15% of MIT's incoming freshman class was black. 15% black. This year, that figure dropped to 5%. Huh. So it is artificially propped up. Some schools like Yale reported the enrollment of black and Hispanic students remained steady. Yale is smarter than MIT in terms of being in an evil way. They're more clever, because MIT is like, we need good people, okay? MIT is Institute of Technology. By the way, I don't have my stuffed animal right now. My autism octopus with me. But he's in the room. And it is a he. But shout out to Carver. Was it Carver who gave that to me? MIT needs actual, like, smart people because you can't really fudge with engineering type stuff, right? Is that what MIT does? But with Yale, you can do whatever you want. Lawyers, liars. And doctors you can fudge even with doctoring. Reported the enrollment of Black and Hispanic students remained steady. The number of Asian and Asian American students decreased. Wow. Asians do not... Whoa, so they are discriminating even more against the Asians because Asians are way overrepresented because they're overachievers per capita. Bates College reported an increase in Black and Hispanic students. Whoever heard of them? When the Supreme Court, maybe they got the spillover from these places that went down. When the so-called Supreme Court dismantled affirmative action last summer, which is discrimination against whites and Asians in favor of less qualified people from the supposedly underrepresented groups, and men, it also replaces men with females. Oh, white women get the most affirmative action, say the people. Yeah, let's get rid of it for the women too. I'm fine with that. That means more uneducated white women for us white men. That's better. Less uneducated meaning unbrainwashed, less brainwashed anyway. College campuses became ground zero amid the anti-DEI movement. Lord have mercy. It did not the Supreme Court didn't set that off. It's been a long time coming. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, all that phoniness, all that artificial false values stuff. Catering to the so-called minorities and the women and stuff. Many in so-called higher education warned that without affirmative action, incoming freshman classes would not be as racially diverse as those before. Like, diversity is inherently a good thing. It's neither good nor bad. Usually it's bad when you do it, when you push it for its own sake, pretending that diversity is a strength. When you're not pushing moral strength, you're pushing moral evil and using the diversity to do it. Admissions officers and researchers still working to understand what caused the decline this year. Nice. Some warn that against making assumptions from just 1 year of data, especially as many schools report steady numbers. Also been another shift. Fewer students are disclosing their racial identity in their applications amid concerns about how welcomed they'd be. No duh. No duh. Because it's been all too trendy to push your ethnicness. Look at Barry Soetoro. He became Barack Obama. Look at... I almost said Pete. I almost said Pete, but I meant Beto O'Rourke. He's pushing his Beto-ness. Look at Tony Villar. Became Antonio Villaraigosa. Villaraigoso? Whatever his name was. One of the lame former mayors of Los Angeles. How embarrassing. So that's a little update on diversity being down. Again, it is early, like they said. That's true. They'll figure out a way to do it anyway. California's been doing it forever. California, did you know that California, affirmative action in California has been illegal for like a long time? But they do it anyway. California has this spirit, the evil spirit, de facto affirmative action in DEI. What a mess, huh? Omid says the Chinese are stopping sending their students to the USA. They're losing faith in U.S. education. I could believe that. I could believe that. There are places that, oh my goodness, they go, they buy up the homes with cash over here in the like nicer areas and go to like the premier high schools, public high schools. Believe it or not, there are some really supposedly quality public high schools. And there's like major Arcadia High School for one. I grew up not far from Arcadia, California, near Pasadena, and there was always a fight to get residence with when you have children near Arcadia High School, so you can send your children to Arcadia High School. I could totally believe that. Chat wants to know if Hake has Cash App. I do. It's James Anton Hake. James Anton Hake. Cash App. Let's see. James Anton Hake. Anton. My middle name. On Cash App. It's a form of a super chat. And I do check those, believe it or not. Harmony often sends stuff. Tim Scott, the real one, not to be confused with the Rhino. Thank you. Yeah, homeschool is solid. And, well, it's not really necessarily solid, but homeschool, I went to homeschool and I got like way ahead of my classmates. A couple of different years. Way ahead of. There was like one or two little Asians who were as smart as me or quick as me in the math stuff and all that. Cash App is for drug dealers. I know, that's why some of you guys were drug dealers in the past, so you have your leftover Cash App, but you repented, and so now you can do the James Anton Hake. Must be part Frenchy. I think it might be Danish. Anton Peterson. Is it Anton LaVey? Anyway, let me get to some calls, guys. We have one line open already for you. David in Ocala, Florida, on the line here. Let me unmute you, David. Hang on a second. What's up, David? How you doing?
Hey, good morning. How you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, I was listening to you on the JLP show, man. I wanted to let you know before we started talking, you do a great job reading the news, man. I was watching that and listening to you.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that.
Not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've been at it quite some time. I think I started in like 2019 or something like that. So yeah, I've gotten better over time, and I'm sure some people are still annoyed at me. People are like, God, Hake is so annoying. But thank you. I appreciate it.
I was listening to a song before I called up here. Can I tell you about it? Because it's a song you probably never heard of. And I said, man, I need to let Hake know about this song because I know he never heard it probably.
Okay.
Or against the rules. It's all right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, the song's called Child of Vision by Supertramp. It came out in 1979, and it's just one of the greatest songs ever done. So when you got time, check it out, okay?
Okay. Thank you, man.
All right. Yeah, man, it's a treat. It's a hidden treasure. You know, it's one of those songs they didn't play a whole lot on the radio. Anyway, you know, you saw that Tyreek Hill thing on the news y'all were talking about?
Tyreek
Yanked out of the car?
Hill, Hill. He's not saying Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, this football player.
I broke up. I said Hill, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say about that.
That was Florida Highway Patrol. That's why they didn't play with him and just yanked him right out of that car for not rolling his window down.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that would have been Miami police. They probably would have really recognized him and not given him any, been a bit more lenient on him. But you go messing around with the Florida Highway Patrol, and they'll do that. They'll yank you right out of your car. In fact, they'll take your car from you if they catch you street racing.
Another black football player. Well, good for the Florida Highway Patrol, FHP. I'm so used to CHP, California Highway Patrol. It's like, it takes me a second to think about Florida Highway Patrol. It was like Anchor Baby didn't know what GBI stood for. Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
They're real nice, too, man. They don't give you a hard time unless you act stupid.
And this is an article by George Ramsey, Ben Morse, Wayne Sterling, David Close, Kevin Dotson, and Homero de la Fuente. It took, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people to write this article about, they six people on this Miami sports. Well, I mean, it gets on this article on CNN Sports, not Miami Sports. about this young man. Look at his arms. His arms versus Hake's arms. Quick decision. I think black people just look more cut than white people.
Would have been funny
Black is
if
slimming.
he got out of the car. I just thought of this. He got out of the car and he took off running because there's no way they could have caught him. I mean, he's the fastest guy in the NFL. I mean,
I don't know. Police are in shape nowadays, right? Look at these guys.
Not like that.
Oh, you might be right.
I think he runs like a 4.1 40 or something like that.
Wow,
anyway.
that's flying. Yeah, he's a talented young man. 30 years old, I believe.
Yeah, he's in his prime.
But has a bad attitude. Look at them. They're mocking like they're... I'm looking at pictures from, I guess, the game afterwards. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Whittle celebrate Hill's third quarter touchdown against Jacksonville Jaguars, and they're acting like they're putting him in handcuffs. Cute, funny, amusing, entertaining black people. No shame. Classless, but hey, I give them credit for amusing, but that's evil.
Right.
What a mess. Like, he's so immature, and he's 30 years old. And he's like kind of being dishonest about how badly he behaved. He went on
with them putting the handcuffs on him. I see that. You got that up on the screen. Like after he got a touchdown. Yeah.
He's all acting shell-shocked and embarrassed. He should be embarrassed by how he was acting. We saw it on the Jason Lee Peterson show how he was acting earlier today.
Well, they came back. They were down 17-3 or something like that, and came back against Jacksonville. But hey, somebody wrote in the chat. I was just looking up. They wanted an update on the motorcycle thing. And just real quick, I spent Saturday and Sunday going to this class, and it dang near killed me, man. I was on a motorcycle for 4.5 hours each day, which was good for me. I needed it, man. I mean, talk about my arms and my legs and everything like that, man. You ain't been on a bike in a long time, and they got you out there for 4.5 hours each day.
Wow.
It was rough, but I needed it, man, because I was thinking about this. Now I feel like I'm 50 instead of 58. It's like I turned the clock back 8 years.
It is good to stay in shape and practice stuff.
But I got a punching bag and things like that.
But I mean, especially if you're going to be on a bike, you want to be able to handle yourself on a bike and not go, meaning a motorcycle, because
believe me, I'm gonna ride. I have to go get my driver's license that says I got the motorcycle license, and I'm gonna drive it around in my neighborhood and stuff for a while and get used to it. I'm not gonna just go jump right out on the street,
Yeah, because you know how when you were a younger, fitter athlete, and then you go and try to do the same thing, but you haven't been doing it, so your body's not ready for it. And then you can very easily injure yourself or wipe out or hurt yourself or other people.
Well, that's what happened. I got my one knee messed up in my motorcycle accident when I was 9.
Oh.
And then I got a skateboard about 1.5 years ago, and I went to jump on it with my right knee, and I twisted my knee, so now I got 2 bad knees and a motorcycle. But who cares? You only live once. But, hey, I wanted to talk about that town in Springfield, man, with them dumping 20,000 people in a 60,000, population town.
Oh, okay.
Is that messed up or what?
That is messed up. And there was a woman, Ann Corcoran, who was on the Jason Lee Peterson show. I've mentioned her before. A frequent caller gave us his tip. Ann Corcoran of Refugee Resettlement Watch. She doesn't keep up with her blog anymore, but it's so out of control, and they do this into neighborhoods all over. This one is more extreme, perhaps, than others because the whole face of the neighborhood has changed, and it's very disruptive to the people because these are not like quiet, humble, thankful immigrants or so-called refugees or illegals. Yeah,
they're cutting the heads off of ducks.
Yeah, they're just out of control. And what a mess. It's terrible.
Well, what people need to realize is, Steve, this is totally against the law. This immigration, there's laws on the books about all this. So this administration, this is just pure lawlessness.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything about it. I'm very surprised that these country people in Texas didn't go down there to the border themselves, and take care of some of this, okay, and scare them at least, I'm not saying take people out, but at least, scare them to where they'll think about maybe coming in, and disrupt it, because it's just, and it's worldwide too. I think, the saying order out of chaos.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what this is, because isn't there a problem in Ireland right now? Then people are about to rise up and might do something crazy or something like that because of it.
Yeah,
in
in Ireland and in the UK, there have been problems, and the good people, or not necessarily good, but the Irish and the English, some of them are reacting poorly to this. It's understandable, but they're reacting poorly, and they're getting a crackdown on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And not on the so-called migrants. So it's a big mess.
I think that same thing's been happening in Canada for a few years.
Yeah.
You can't. You got to watch what you say. They'll throw you in jail if you say the wrong thing or put the wrong post or something.
True.
On. But
Yep.
Here's the next thing coming, man, that I see. Well, first off, the answer to your question, is she the worst? Yeah, Harris is the worst freaking vice president that ever walked into the White House.
Okay.
She's a joke, and I hope Trump just takes her out tonight. But the next thing they're going to have is a carbon tax on people, on us. Maybe not while I'm still alive, but I would say, like, you see they're gunning for it, man, because the climate control cult,
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it just makes sense. Doesn't it make sense that they'll try to put something like that because they're so worried about the environment?
Yeah, it does. It's not really concerned about the environment. Some people are brainwashed by that stuff. They've put the fear in the children, in the younger generations. Right. They have that, what they call it, climate anxiety, as if anxiety is ever justified. But
back in the 50s, it was Russia. 50s and early 60s is we're going to get nuked.
Yeah, the fear mongering.
That's how they controlled us back then.
Fear mongering is always a big business, I guess, with the government and with advertisers, I guess. But also it's like power and ego. People want to get their way, and they don't even care. And it's also, their solutions are not truly good for the world, for the environment, nor are they good at all for people. Because it's just like what JLP's guest, Bill Lockwood, has said, it's globalist socialism is what they're enforcing. It's just here's this problem, and then here's our solution, and this is the only solution, or you don't believe in the helping the environment. But Trump obviously cares about the world. He likes beautiful golf courses, and he builds beautiful golf courses. Why would he want the world to be ugly? He doesn't like the homeless bum veterans polluting the atmosphere in front of his Trump Tower. He likes the world to be beautiful. So, now.
Well, let's just hope he destroys her tonight.
Metaphysically
debate,
speaking,
I'm sure
of course.
He's gonna,
Yeah.
But one last thing. Now I know why God burns up the grass, and all the grass and a third of the trees, because he's gonna give these people. He's gonna torture them with it because they worship the earth. That's a big time thing, man.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna say, okay, now I'm gonna really upset you. Okay, I'm watching what my language, and
nice.
Now I'm really going to upset you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to burn up all this grass, burn up all these trees, and you're really going to hate me.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
it's interesting how the atheists judge God. They get all puffed up and judge God and God's people.
Well, it talks about that. It says they start screaming at him who sits on the throne. In other words, they know what's going down when this, water turns to blood, and all this stuff that's supposed to happen during the 7 years. Now I know we disagree about this and whatever, but there you go. And look at it, man. It's making sense because of what's been going down with the technology and just everything. I mean, we're AI,
right?
Just everything is going. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I know y'all are more ahead of the times than myself. I couldn't believe when I walked into a convenience store the other day, and they had a thing where you could just put your stuff down on this shelf, and this computer took a picture of it and rang you up, and you just put your card in and leave, and you never see a cashier.
Wow. Interesting. I hadn't heard quite to that extent. I have checked myself out of like grocery stores, and I do it honestly. Some people probably don't. But wow.
You use the checkout?
I do the self-checkout, but I've never been able to do it just off of them taking a picture of it and figuring out what you got. That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a thing about the size of a little tray you'd bring, like at school. Remember, the tray you had for the lunch line? It's something about that big, and you just set your stuff up on top of it. The camera takes a picture of it, rings you up.
Nice.
Give them your card, and you go. So, well, listen, man, I know you got to roll. Thanks a lot, and I hope everybody has a great week.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, take it easy, buddy. Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
you as well. Bye. There is one line open, guys. Let me talk a little bit more about this situation with this black NFL player. Is there cussing in that video? Is there cussing in this video? That, whose arms are bigger, Hake's or his? Or more cut? But anyway, Spoiler Alert posted this in the chat. Ian Miles Cheong. I guess we'll watch it kind of on quiet. Do they cuss? 3 minutes and such seconds. Maybe to be safe. Whoa, that's a bit loud. Pardon me, guys. Rest in peace. Ears of the headphones users. My bag. But here's the police knocking on this beautiful car window. Look at that nice car. Tyreek Hill had it coming, says Ian Miles Cheong. Police did absolutely nothing wrong. This is the body cam footage of his arrest.
Keep your window down.
Keep your window down.
I'm gonna get you out of the car.
Whoa.
Get out of the car. Give me your ass, get out of the
Okay, I better stop it, or I'll play it on silent. But they pull him out of the car, and people are like, oh, how come they did it like that? They're just supposed to give you court orders, court summons, blah, 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 blah. Lambo doors. I want Lambo doors. Look at him. This is different footage from what we saw. Don't handle him so rough. Is sensitivity warning for those of the faint of heart. They're put him on the hot ground, on the hot pavement. But he's tough. And they arrest him. And then they also cuffed his teammate, by the way. They cuffed his teammate. He's acting crazy. They cuffed this fellow, who is like a bystander down here. This guy. There might have been a third guy, too, whom they cuffed. But listen to this. Who's that? Miami Dolphins, light-skinned black head coach Mike McDaniel. Is he light-skinned black? Is he part Irish? Or is he all Irish? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what they said about McDaniel. But look at this. The police union said whatever, said he was not cooperative. Let me show you guys what the mayor said. There's a female mayor of, what was this, Miami-Dade? Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Because it's ridiculous how they're making a scene about it. And the Dolphins are, I think the Dolphins wanted the police to be punished or apologize or whatever. Let's see. He tells CNN is in shock. His teammate was also placed in handcuffs. Dolphins slammed the police conduct. Dolphins, you're supposed to promote good citizenship of your athletes. How are you going to slam the police conduct? And the police sounded Hispanic, by the way. He shouted to the Hispanics. After the body cam footage was released, Miami Dolphins released a 3-paragraph statement criticizing the overly aggressive and violent conduct directed towards Tyreek Hill, Calais, I don't know how to pronounce his name, my bad, Campbell, and Jonnu Smith by police officers. Maddening and heartbreaking to watch the very people we trust to protect our community use such unnecessary force and hostility toward these players. Also a reminder, not every situation like this ends in peace. We're grateful this one did. They're pretending like the police just all of a sudden treat blacks differently when blacks act differently. We all know that. Mike McDaniels, head coach, said he was unsettled by the incident. It's hard for me not to find myself more upset when I think about it. Keyword, don't think about it, McDaniel. That's because my teammates and trying to put myself in that situation. In your imagination, they described emotionally a bunch of women with bigger arms than Hake slightly. Just barely. I'm catching up. And then knowing more than that this F's me up, honestly. Knowing that I don't know exactly what that feels like. Oh, so is he full-blown white or Irish? Those Irish kiss-ups. I do think it's supremely important to wait for information before rushing to judgment, but I know the feelings expressed to me are unsettling. Super proud of teammates being teammates. Our guys understanding civic responsibility of a platform and intending to do right by it. But they just can't help themselves. Because they're not raised right. He was just trying to get to work, trying to play a game, trying to do his job. Said this Drew Rosenhaus, agent of Hill. And CNN kissing up to the blacks. ESPN, of course, kissing up. I don't know if ESPN specifically is kissing up, but in general, that's what they do. How embarrassing. And you know who else was kissing up? This woman, Mayor S. This gal. Miami-Dade Mayor. Daniela Levine Cava praised the immediate steps taken by the MDPD, Miami-Dade Police Department, in the aftermath of the incident to investigate what occurred. In recent years, our nation has confronted important conversations about the use of force. What an evil woman, huh? We have not confronted important conversations. We need to confront important conversations about the use of blacks, the kissing up to black anger and false victimhood when the blacks act erratic and out of control. Where's that conversation, evil, lame mayor woman, silly dude person? We will continue to keep our community informed about the process and findings and will be made of blah, blah, blah. Who cares? The Dolphins back in action, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Look at this woman. Her statement. She posted this whole statement on IG. See if I can, how much of a boomer I'm not. My statement on today's incident involving a Miami Dolphins player and Miami-Dade PD. But according to our greatest caller from Ocala, that was not the PD, that was the Highway Patrol. So she made this whole statement. By the way, this is her. This Miami-Dade County. Deeply grateful for your trust, honored to serve 4 more years. Serve yourself. 4 more years, tirelessly for our community. Whose community? Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. Look at this gal. Mildly attractive. Cute lady, but doesn't belong in office. And it's not suitable to be wearing that suit, you gal. With her fake humility praying hands thing. What a joke. Look at that face. Why would you vote for her? But Miami-Dade is beautiful. But they're a bunch of liberals, a bunch of them. Congratulations, Madame Mayor. Very easy to criticize, even harder to lead. Yeah, especially for a woman, because she can't. She's not leading. Look, this male, I think it's a male, said that. Oops. Don't harass this person. Don't harass him. We're just criticizing his comment. I will always root for your success because yours is also ours. What, is he running for office too? Why is he acting so phony, high and mighty? Embarrassing. Upon being stopped, Mr. Hill was not immediately cooperative with the officers on the scene. He's like, don't tap on my window. Don't tap on my window. Don't tap on my window. With that ugly, evil mama attitude. Oh, well. He's a mess. And he can't help it. Shout out to the blacks who just don't realize how, or do they realize how bad they come off? Or are they just that dishonest? Because you can be really blind to yourself. Whose arm's bigger? Whose arms are bigger? Lord, another black NFL player. Weren't we just talking about 1/3 of black American men, according to the NIH, National Institutes of Health, are criminals? But that doesn't apply to the NFL, does it? People talk about how the NFL is full with domestic violence because these guys have high T or whatever. And also they're not raised right per capita. And so, and then they're all into the S and not doing things right. And they're getting into fights with these gals, and these gals aren't raised exactly right either. Thank you, spoiler alert, posting that in chat. 1/3 of black American men been convicted of a felony, according to estimates from the National Institutes of Health. And they pretend like they love the blacks. Shout out. I know I do, if I love anybody. I was talking about druggies with a friend of mine, and it sounds so judgmental, right, to talk about the druggies. But I like the druggies, and I like the criminals and felons too. It's not my pace. I like peace, calm. I like being generally law-abiding, you know? I know that there's some laws that shouldn't be... Like, for example, this guy got pulled over for not wearing his seatbelt. I'm like, maybe that shouldn't be a law. When I was a kid, the Gen Xers and Boomers were not for that law. Because it's sort of mama. I know that they say, oh, it's more paperwork because more people die and stuff. I'm not for people dying. I'm not for that. But whatever, either way, you already know that it's the law. So you might as well follow it. But druggies and all these people, like, I kind of get it. You've crossed these different lines of stealing and hitting people and being defiant, and you're not that young, but young and energetic, because that guy's 30 years old, this guy who got into argument with the police, got pulled out of his car. 30 years old and still acting like that. You're supposed to be mature. But the druggies and the felons and the people, they're just messed up people like you and me. It's not like I'm judging. Well, maybe, unless I am judging. Anyway. Shout out to the blacks. Let's keep it moving, though. Let's keep it moving. A super chat over on, we're at 1/4 till the top of the hour here. A super chat over on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report from Terry. Says, I don't know if you're meaning to be offensive or not, but please understand that it's problematic and not okay. Speaking of getting offended, right? And I don't know if she's offended, okay? Problematic and not okay to refer to Supreme Court justices as, quote unquote, cute. Well, in the words of Barack Obama, attorneys general can be cute or attractive. Kamala Harris, attractive AG. Boom. Obama calls Californian Kamala Harris best looking attorney general. Best looking. 11 years ago. And he apologized to Kamala Harris like a beta back in 2013. Face it, people, Kamala Harris is hot. Says, oh, come on, I disavow that. Don't say that word, kids. Best looking attorney general. Shall I play this?
Thanks, Mark. New tonight, controversial comments by President Obama earlier today at a fundraiser in the peninsula. He said Attorney General Kamala Harris is, quote, by far the best-looking attorney general. As the Night Team's Mallory Hoff reports, his words are getting some mixed response.
President Obama's time in Northern California wasn't without controversy.
Mr. President!
At a closed-to-news cameras fundraising event in Atherton, the president commented on State Attorney General Kamala Harris, saying, quote, she's brilliant, she's dedicated, she's tough. She also happens to be by far the best-looking attorney general.
Wow.
Was the comment benignly sexist? Yes.
The president of the California National Organization for Women, Patricia Bellasama, says benign sexism is when someone makes a sexist comment wrapped in a compliment. She says we live in a sexist society and the president is not immune from that culture, but she says she would not call his comments offensive. People we spoke with had mixed emotions.
Thank you.
Maybe a tad bit sexist. Maybe a little bit.
It's mostly trivial and a bit distracting.
It's probably inappropriate, but it doesn't bother me.
I'm not sure if that was appropriate, but I know it was meant from a good place.
But this woman acknowledges
place.
the reactions in California may have been different if the words hadn't been President Obama's.
I feel like if George W. Bush said something, then I'd feel a little different about it.
State Attorney General Harris's office told KCRA3 she has no comment on the president's remarks.
You think the Attorney General's right not to respond to this?
Absolutely. She doesn't have time. You know, she's the Attorney General of the state of California. She's a powerful, substantive leader.
Oh, Lord. Not doing anything.
Well, that was Mallory Hoff reporting. We reached out to the White House for comment on the president's remarks. We did not receive a
reply. Don't look at my suggested videos. Okay, so comments turned off. Lame. Wait, what does this say in the description? KCRA3, President Obama is praising California's Attorney General for more than her smarts and toughness. Yeah, because she's not smart. Or is she smart? I don't know. On some level, she's got to have some semblance of smartness and toughness. But anyway, what's this gal's name? Ketanji. Cute. Let's see if she's cute. They have a t-shirt about her being cute. Anyway, this is oh, I shouldn't have done that. Ketanji. Boom. There's that guy. Look, no other Supreme Court justice is cute like that. Look at her. She knows she's kind of cute. Look at that. That's the look of a woman who knows she's, you know, kind of cute. Look at that. You look at the Supreme Court justices, and none of the rest of them look like that. Look at these. Hold on. Let me zoom in on these. Oh. Yeah, see? None of them. It's a bit blurry. The world. Okay. How did that happen? Oh, no. I just clicked something wrong. But look at these people. There's that gal. Oh, she's kind of cute. That gal. Elena Kagan. Sotomayor is kind of, she's more like a wise Latina. And then the late, great, notorious RPG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Bader Ginsburg was kind of cute, but like cute in like an old lady sense. Anyway, you can call it problematic and not okay, and I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just what comes to mind, especially when doing a show. you're presented with this gal, and that's just what you see. Anyway, thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wasn't. It's funny because people take stuff in a way that you don't even mean or think about. So I find that amusing. Definitely not meaning to be offensive. Although it does make me a little bit more defiant when people react. I don't know if you're trying to make me, get me started on something. You succeeded, whether you tried to or not. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that coffee. Hope that was informative for you guys. I know I found it interesting. Okay, back to calls, guys. Appreciate the support, everyone. Let me just double check over on Cash App. Nice. And we will get to all of your calls. Hang tight, callers. The lines are full. Let me get to William in California. I feel like I'm going to get yelled at by William. What's up, William? How you doing, man? Thank you for calling and holding.
Well, I'm not going to yell at you because I've gotten on you about this before.
Right.
So, do you really? You must want one.
No. It's not like that.
Go get one. Go get one, dude. Go get one. This is getting old. That is not cute.
I'm not even necessarily like finding.
Kamala wasn't even cute as DA, and that's a while ago.
Right. AG.
And,
actually.
I mean, why wouldn't Barack say she's cute? Look what he's with.
No, she's kind of Michelle Obama.
No,
I differ with JLP on that a little bit.
James. Black men have higher standards than that.
Right. It's funny because the other races find the other races more attractive than the same race finds.
Crazy, man.
The same race has higher standards for their race.
You don't even look at the good-looking black girls.
Oh, come on. Yes, I do. You
flirt with all of the...
The good-looking ones don't make the show.
Yeah, I guess.
Except for Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah.
But her personality
on the outside.
Is screwed up.
Yeah. Only on the outside.
Yeah. But man, come on. You really want one, don't you?
No, not really. It's just I just like to compliment the ladies.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And we use the term loosely, ladies, because they're not all very ladylike.
Yes, not all of them.
Yeah.
But there are some ladies out there. You do report the news very well.
I appreciate it.
As far as this morning you did.
Yeah, nice.
And you touched on a few things that I wanted to talk about. But first of all, I guess I would be remiss not to mention that James Earl Jones passed away yesterday.
Yeah, rest in peace to James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Wow, Darth Vader himself.
Premier actor.
93 years old. He was and he was like a sort of a heavier set black man, and he had a great voice. And
great career.
I never had any problem with James Earl Jones that I know of.
Yeah,
I don't remember him running his mouth about politics. If he did, it was in a relatively brief and classy way. If he did at all.
Yeah, that's true. The Tyreek Hill situation could have went another way.
For sure.
Which is,
but really,
present your proof of insurance and license all in one stroke, and just tell them, "Hey, man, you got me, and I'm part of the event, and I'm just trying to get there." And maybe you don't know who I am. I'm playing for the Dolphins, so you didn't have to really get personal about who he was. Just say, "Hey, man, I'm one of the players for the event,"
right?
And that probably would have went a lot differently. But as you know, black people are going to ride that all the way to victim heaven.
Right.
And, because like I said before, last year, we were coming up to this point of running for president, that they're going to look for something to connect racism to, and they do that very well.
Yeah. What do you think of my statement that they just can't help it? They weren't raised right, and they totally do not have the right mindset to be
well,
calm.
They're raised. There's some two different blacks. They got some blacks that weren't raised like that.
Yeah.
They're not raised to feel like they're victims, and they're hard workers, and they've done well in life, and they don't even talk about that kind of stuff. Like you said about James Earl Jones, you never heard him talk about anything on that level.
Yeah.
Because
true.
It didn't do any good, and it's not popular. But yeah, we got some. You were speaking about the colleges. They got a college in Oklahoma that has a 4% graduation rate.
Wow.
And it's an HBCU. 4%.
That's a college?
Yeah. Langston University. Pull up some video. You like those black girls? They got all that hair and everything. That stuff they go get
at
the store, and they're doing their thing, man. There's plenty of them. Pull up the video. It's wild, But they got a 4% graduation rate, which is not very good at all.
Yeah.
And there's something that happened last week because it's not news anymore. Over in Ohio, a girl shot another girl in the car 4 times.
Oh wow!
And put it on social media. As crazy as it sounds.
Man.
Yeah, somewhere out there in Ohio.
Yeah.
And also, what about this? The Haitian 20,000 Haitians moving into Springfield, Ohio. It's like northeast of probably Cincinnati, Dayton.
Oh, really? Is that where that is?
It's outside of Dayton. 20,000 Haitians put into a town of 58,000.
It's northeast of Dayton, like you said, and it's a ways west of Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And Dayton is northeast of Cincinnati, by the way.
That's what the Democrats feel about you. That's 20,000 Haitians.
Wow.
Put in a town of only 58,000.
Brutal.
Not even 60,000 people.
That's not that's not that big of a city at all.
No, that is not.
That's like a little suburb neighbor.
Right.
Nice-ish, maybe. Maybe not the nicest, of course, neighborhood.
Right. But you pull up that Langston University in Oklahoma. It'll show you. You'll find some mildly attractive ones that got it all.
That's all that counts.
Yeah.
Don't keep them out of that education. They get worse.
Well, what about Kamala tonight? What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Trump versus cackling Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I am too. The rules actually favor Trump because she has to everybody has to answer the questions.
Yeah.
And with no interruptions, and she's never really done too well in those kind of situations. She never handled press conferences too good. She still hasn't had a formal press conference yet. It's like almost 60 days.
We'll see how it goes.
I guess she's going to have herself run for president without debates and press conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let you roll it alone, though.
Yeah. It's a crazy world.
Yeah.
Thank you, William. I appreciate you, man. It's good to hear from you.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. You as well. Bye. Joe in Phoenix, Arizona on the line here. We're at the top of the hour. Joe, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up?
Good morning, James.
Morning.
Shout out to William. He's exactly right about Tyreek Hill. The guy should have just rolled down his window and given his information to the cops, period.
What he said was, I read a little bit of the article on Coming Nonsense Network, that he didn't want to be seen by people. He didn't want people taking pictures of him stopped by police. So that's why he kept the window up, according to him. But I'm with you and William. He should have just rolled it down, kept it. If he really wanted to keep it moving, he should have kept it moving. And rather than be, but what do you think of my statement? They can't help it.
I think it's more to do with celebrity than his skin color, James, because a lot of celebrities act entitled like that, like, do you know who I am type nonsense.
Yeah, but it's also like he mentioned the black thing. He said, I don't know if he said it just after the fact, but he said, "Oh, if I wasn't a celebrity, maybe they could have shot me," which is both crazy and that's a common black thing that the media lies to the blacks about, by the way. So
if he didn't want to be noticed, he wouldn't be driving around a $300,000 car.
Wow, is that how much that thing is?
I'm just guessing.
It's a beautiful car. It had a nice rumble to it. I don't think he cut the engine either.
Right. So yeah, he was just being an idiot, an entitled celebrity idiot. And those guys, as you know, I used to work with those guys when I was practicing.
Nice.
And they do. They have an entitled. The world owes me. Because I'm an elite athlete.
Yeah.
The world has to cater to me. And when they retire, they get a rude awakening. No one cares about you anymore.
And then hopefully you're not so badly injured and messed up in the head from I don't know. There's a lot of propaganda about head injuries and stuff, and some of it might be true. I don't know.
That is true for sure. But yeah, so that's what that's about. But anyway, now James, I'm going to be careful here because we're going to argue. But on your call yesterday, there were two names mentioned that is going to get you in serious trouble in terms of your show, and maybe even land you in court one day.
Lord,
the first name I won't even mention it, but was the assassin who killed Medgar Evers. Coward, piece of garbage, convicted felon who shot Medgar Evers in his back in his driveway with his wife and kids just inside the house.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. Thanks for the heads up.
I know you don't know history.
I don't.
The second name of a newspaper, headed up by a guy, again, another convicted felon, piece of garbage, coward, who bombed a church, James, a Baptist church. Went to jail for it. Bombed a church. I'll say it again, James.
All right, I heard it the first time.
Okay. So those were the names that were being celebrated by certain callers yesterday on your show, putting your show at risk. You keep claiming that I'm the one trying to take you down, yet I'm the one giving you the heads up.
Well, if you really wanted to do that, you would. Why would you be broadcasting it on my show, tattling on my show, calling attention to it, rather than calling the bond office and be like, "Hey, James, heads up on this, man. Those two guys did that thing." No, you're broadcasting it to bash me and to justify taking down my show. And you do want JLP taken down. You celebrate Alex Jones, my competitor, being taken down, and all kinds of stuff. Not that I'm anything like my competitor, but
I'll agree on Alex Jones. I do wish you and Jesse would be better. Is my whole point of this. That's all. Not to take you down.
But that's sort of mama spirit, because you're going to be like,
believe that.
You're going to be like, oh. You're setting it up to be like, I warned them. That's so evil. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? We are better. You be better.
James. You don't have to believe me. I mean, one day you'll be saying, dang, I wish I would listen to Joe. He sure was right about a lot of things, especially legal. But that's okay.
Whatever.
So speaking of legal matters, Department of Justice statistics, the Brennan Center, Brennen.
I've heard of it.
40% of white men will be arrested before they're 23.
All right.
What's wrong with the whites, James?
They're becoming more and more like the blacks.
Yeah. Okay.
They're following in the bad footsteps that the blacks followed, identifying with the victimhood, believing in the race thing over what's right. Messed up families. Shocked. You were shocked by that info?
No. I was shocked to read that, as it stands right now, again, according to the same source, that an equal amount of people in this country have gone to jail as have college degrees. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. College is no protection from an evil heart and mind.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of legal matters, remember when the Supreme Court immunity decision came down, I called you and I said, all this is going to do is create a huge amount of work about what is official capacity and what is not official capacity. You saw that Jack Smith has a superseding indictment. He refiled the indictment on both the J6 and the classified documents case.
Uh-huh.
And what he did, he stripped out anything that could be even closely, reaching to make it official. For example, he only focusing on Trump's action after January 6th now.
We'll see what happens. I'm really not even really interested in this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be interesting because there's just so much, and there's going to be more and more legal cases, debating what was official and what was not official.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a witch hunt.
All right, James.
It's definitely a witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt.
Yeah. They hate Trump. That's why. That's the bottom line. They hate Trump because Trump stands for the country, and they're not for the country. They're for themselves.
James, you do understand the grand jury process, right? It can't be a witch hunt.
Yeah, no, it's obviously a witch hunt. The grand jury's in on it because the grand jury's, if the grand jury indicts, look at half the country. Look at how half the country is insane. Would you agree that half the country is insane? That's a yes. If you have to pause, you know that I'm right. And when half the country's insane, they don't care about right and wrong.
But James, our legal system is based on actual evidence and proof.
No, it's not.
Without proof. Oh, it is.
No, because it's based on what people think of as proof and evidence. And people's thinking about proof and evidence is not always clear, especially when they have an agenda or they have a bias. And people are biased against Trump, against truth, against reality.
Don't try to debate law with me. You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have to know what I'm talking about. I know human nature. Human nature infects the so-called justice system.
There are standards in every jurisdiction that have to be met.
Oh, where's my snake?
Of the crime. Called elements of the crime that have to be met.
Doesn't mean anything.
It does.
It does not. But I got my snake puppet out for you.
Right.
Go ahead.
My last thing is the debate tonight should be very interesting. We'll see if Trump can bamboozle her with his lies and with his falsehoods.
Who's a bigger liar, Trump or Kamala Harris?
I'd say they're about equal.
Wow, you're really anti-man. You have a severe bias against men. Real men.
Severe bias against the criminal that is Trump.
Our greatest president.
I see him clearly. You're in the Trump cult.
Whatever. Thank you, Joe.
Anyway. All right, have a good day.
You as well. Take care. Bye. I almost got the click. And Rick in Hampton, Virginia. Rick, how you doing, man? It's good to hear from you.
What's going on, Brother Jay? What's up with you, man?
Not much, just having a fun, loosey-goosey Tuesday, September 10th show. What's up?
Man, you gonna watch the debate tonight, Gene?
I think I will.
You know what? It seems like I ain't never been to a presidential election that was only one debate because Kamala she only wants one debate.
We'll see what happens.
Hey, if that's all they do, I think Trump will still be fine.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting, man. I mean, and you know what? Actually, when it comes to debates, Trump is good. He's pretty laid back until you start attacking him and insulting him. That's when he strikes back.
Stay close to your phone so you come through as clearly as possible there, Rick.
Okay. What about now, James?
That's sounding a bit better. Yeah, Trump does really well at debates. Especially when he's free to be himself. He's not holding back to try to be politically correct. I pray oh, Lord, please don't let Trump listen to those dumb people who say, oh, don't look like you're personally attacking this evil woman for being an evil lame-o woman or a lamette woman.
You know, if Trump attacks her on the border, say the border is a disaster. That's not attacking her. That's what it is.
Right.
That's a revelation from God.
Well, I hope that he can deal with the. Well, we'll see what happens.
You know what? They gave her everything she wanted. She didn't want to be interviewed by Fox. So another liberal media took the debate in. You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do a fair and just debate.
Right.
What do you think about mic and microphones? Do you think that's good?
I'm not sure. You know what's funny is that Kamala wanted them not muted because her group anyway was like, oh, if they're not muted, then we can get Trump to interrupt and be rude looking. And Trump could do it either way because he goes with the flow, you know? He'll go into the darkness that is evil ABC News and face the fire. He's not concerned. He's he's a man.
I think the media tries to get Trump to get him angry where he can just say something that he regret, and then they have turn and the drive-by media, as Rush Limbaugh used to call it, take it and spin it.
Right, yep. But I like practically everything Trump says.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think it's just to the point, man. I mean, I like a boss like Trump. Tell you what it is. Hey, man, you need to improve this, improve here. You know, them be the better boss. They make you a better person.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'm with you.
What do you think about the Tyreek? I'm sorry. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
I just said I'm with you.
Wow, man. In fact, I like those kind of bosses. That's just me.
Yep.
And what do you think about Tyreek Hill, man? This guy you should be able to examine yourself. If I guarantee you, if Tyreek Hill would have had a better attitude toward those officers and did exactly what they said, they probably would have blocked the road and to help him get there fast.
Yeah,
I believe he would have done that.
Totally. It's just
they're like, oh man. He had told me he was. Look, I'm Tyreek Hill. I'll play for the Miami Dolphins. The reason why I was driving fast because I'm running late. I'm sorry for driving fast, but that's who I am. I would have done everything. They would have said, well, let me see your registration. Let me run your numbers. Once they got through running them, they knew that he was telling the truth. I can just about guarantee that they probably would have got in front of him, put their lights on to let them get by.
Maybe. It's just
I believe that.
He needs a silent prayer. And he needs somebody not to cater and spoil the worst in him. Cater to and spoil the worst in him.
Mother for sure, the way he talks. I could tell like he's been raised by his mother.
Yeah, and then the Miami Dolphins are basically his mother too. Those people are catering to him when he's wrong.
Yeah, that's easy. As a coach, once I seen the footage, I would have said, Tyreek, you need to go apologize to the public, man.
Yeah.
To those police officers.
Specifically
totally
the
wrong,
cops,
man.
really.
They did their job. Exactly.
Yep.
They did their job, man. I mean, you didn't comply, so they forced you out. You could have been kidnapping kids. They've been locked up in the trunk. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Yeah. He needs to read that Steve Harvey book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He needs to listen to the Anchor Baby, American Anchor Baby.
Hey, when it comes to these liberals, man, I wouldn't probably read nothing what they say. I get so sick of their talking points. Oh, the rich get rich and the poor gets poor. Yes, that's going to continue to happen as long as poor people be going on vacations that they can't afford.
That's right.
And then going to restaurants going to extravagant restaurants that the only reason they should not even be there unless they work there.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And meanwhile, the rich are relatively responsible and clever with their money, investing and stuff.
Right. The Democrats always push that point. The richer gets richer. I'm going to tell you why the poor gets poor, because they buy stuff that depreciates. And you look at the average middle-class, middle-income people, they have so much stuff in their garage that they bought, couldn't even sell for the price they bought it for, just for the stuff they had bought.
Yeah, exactly. So true. Get me my Jordans. Get me my fancy car. My fancy car that isn't worth half as much a year later. What a mess.
And I can tell you that is definitely known in the black culture. I mean,
yeah,
black culture, they sometimes buy overpriced gym shoes,
yep.
belt for $90 about $1. You can get you a nice belt from JCPenney for about $25, and it just you're gonna always get poor with that mindset.
Right.
You know, like I said, even if they give blacks reparations and the spiritual mindset most blacks are in today, they'll probably go through that money so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, because without no spiritual knowledge, you ain't gonna make it last no way.
Right. Indeed, it is a sense of responsibility. It's their own fault.
That's all it is.
Yep. Stop being poor.
You know what the best financial book in the world is, James? The best financial book you can find.
The Bible.
Absolutely.
Oh, no,
Most
man.
people get the ideas from the Bible.
Yep.
Yep. The Bible talks about don't be in debt to nobody. The Bible even tells you don't even co-sign for other people's loans.
Yeah. Nice.
It's all in there. Don't put all your money in one investment. Diversify in case one industry go down. You still got 4 or 5 of them doing good.
Yeah.
Best money magazine in the world, man. And but yeah, folks always trying to attack it.
Yeah.
Because of dumb choices they made, especially your professors and you people that think they are so smart.
Yeah. Nice.
You know. Yes, sir. And Joe, man, people gotta. I don't know what it's gonna take people to research their own news, man. Anytime if CNN reporting something, I'm already checking to see get the whole story because I know all they do is playing with people's emotions to get them angry, but it can be used for destruction.
So true. That's true, man. It's good to hear from you, Rick. I got to keep it moving, man.
Hey. Oh, okay, James. Well, love you guys, man. Keep up the good work, man. We're going to talk about the debate tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye. And Alex oh, by the way, before I get to Alex and the rest of the callers, CSAL in the chat says, Dale Carnegie, Hake, what the heck? Angry face emoji. Lord, Hake. Because I said, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Steve Harvey. That's a meme. As we all know, we who are American Anchor Baby fans, catch American Anchor Baby. He got the book, and it says Steve Harvey. But anyway, it's not really by Steve Harvey. It's like an old book. Nice. Anyway, a super chat from Popcorn's Thump Keg came through. So let's see here. Vring. Thank you, Popcorn's Thump Keg, for your coffee. JLP made a few statements regarding the fact that the father of the school shooter was also criminally charged. One that stood out to me was, "You're next. They can do it to you too." Indeed. Here's an earth-shatteringly simple way to keep that from happening, to having it happen to you next. Grab a pencil. 1, don't give your 14-year-old son, whom you know is having issues, an AR-15 to toughen him up, unquote. How would this guy have known that? There's a tinge of a knee-jerk reaction, it seems like, on your part to defend the father because you view it as an attack on men, as well as the Second Amendment, which doesn't exist. Can you honestly say you would be just as adamant that the parent shouldn't be charged if it was the mother being charged? Yeah. If the mom had said, like the father, that she tried to take him hunting to work with him, would you find that nice? Yeah. Adam Lanza, his mother had a gun. He shot her in the face, killed her, I think. Adam Lanza, before he went to the Newtown, Connecticut school shooting. That was a real thing. It wasn't crisis actors. Although people did speculate. And they admitted that they were speculating. They admitted they didn't know. But they got attacked by the liberals in Newtown at the school shooting there in Connecticut. Yeah, I mean, women are trying to raise young men too. Single mothers are trying to raise young men too. Why should they be? Why would you imagine that I would be for them being charged, for a woman being charged? I'm not Joelle. Shout out to Joelle Friday, who says that they should both be charged because spiritually they made them angry, and angry people do mass shootings. Not all angry people do mass shootings, but anger does cause, it's a cause of mass shootings as well as homosexuality and other things. So-called homosexuality. A knee-jerk reaction, it is an attack on men. It's an attack on fathers, on families. It's an imposing on the government, and it's a motivation partly to go after whites. And they go after whites because whites are easier to go after. There's no cries of racism when you're going after whites, or no convincing cries of racism, because people are brainwashed against whites, so you can go after them. But they're going after the blacks too. It's not like they're not going to go after the blacks. They just won't broadcast it. The blacks will cry racism. Some of them will get away with it because of that reason. Because they raise poorer kids. They raise kids more poorly per capita. They raise more thugs per capita. Partly because that's the culture that they've embraced, and partly because they have more single mothers per capita. Far more. So he thinks that that's a simple way. I'm not sure whether that's bad advice or not. It might be good advice now that you know that the government is against your Second Amendment. You do want to be alert. You should be careful. Both for the sake of your son's life and others around him, and your children's lives, and as well as for the sake of your freedom. Because it sounds like Popcorn's Thump Keg is not too concerned that they are coming for you next. Interest in Popcorn's Thump Keg. They are against Christians. They're against whites. They're against men. They're against families. They're against freedom. They're against the semblance of the Second Amendment that they have to pretend exists. That they keep on chipping away even further at it and get people used to more and more ever-increasing infringing on the right to keep and carry arms. Awesome guns. So it is a mess. And then you have the communists, like this intellectual. I'm calling Popcorn Stump Cake a communist. Some people were calling Joel Friday a communist. But it's not just communists, but it's just suckers. People who fall for evil cloaked in sheep's clothing in terms of good. That's what intellectualism will do. You've taken a lesson, a true lesson, and misapplied it. That's why facts are not truth. Facts are not truth. But even still, even with these unrighteous and evil laws imposing on you guys, on us, on the people, there is a way to protect yourself. There's always a way, I think, to protect yourself and maybe even still raise your family right. Even when you've done wrong, there are ways. So don't be blind. I wouldn't say that this is the real solution. This is not don't give your 14-year-old son who's having issues an AR-15 to toughen him. That's not the real solution. That might be the situation for you. What Popcorn Stump Cake says. He is a computer scientist. He or she or it might be an AI. But the solution is kind of like pray without ceasing. Be alert, self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Don't listen to the devil in your head and in others. Don't argue with the devil in your head and in others. Do JLP's assignment this week. JLP's assignment this week was, you guys remember it? I'm the church producer. The assignment was distrust the thoughts. Don't trust the thoughts, just feel that pain. The dad bought the son an AR-15 to toughen him up? Seriously? Asks Galahad X. Don't fall for that, Galahad. Don't fall for that characterization necessarily. That may not be a fair characterization. It may or may not be a fair characterization. Among other things, though, that's what men try to do with their sons. Took them hunting. But a lot of the times, you try to do something to solve a problem, and the solution is worse than makes the symptoms. Really, is what you're doing. You're exacerbating different symptoms. That's what the liberals do. They come up with false solutions, shallow, false solutions, because they don't really want to address the root problem. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Gun control, addressing symptoms, address the gun. Take away the gun, just barely snip the tip. Snip the tip rather than root out the issue. The root issue is the anger and stuff. My elbow is the root, and then the tip is my fingertips. Cut off your fingers rather than fix your elbow. CSAL, who was from Mexico maybe, had a gun when she was 9. 9, according to her in the chat. What a mess. Lord have mercy. Okay, back to calls, guys. Alex in California is just about to be, I'm going to turn this down slightly, on the line here. Alex, thank you for calling. What's up?
What's up, Hake?
Hey, good to hear from you.
Ed, just driving back from the beach. I appreciated your beach footage this morning.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah. So I missed probably a good portion of this morning. I'm sure you guys talked about the Tyreek Hill thing, but I just wanted to go over how he likely had the talk with his big mama over a plate of ribs.
Yeah. The talk, meaning black kids get talked to by their parents who are racist against the police and try to pretend like police are the problem when it's the black attitude and bad behavior with the cops that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been teaching this stuff to my Australian friend who happens to be a flat earther, actually.
Nice.
But they don't really have the black community over there like we do here.
Yeah.
I've just been shining a light on a lot of these videos like this, and I showed him this one. He's like, "Oh man, this guy definitely had the talk, didn't he?"
Yeah, true. Interesting.
Do you think that's a fair assessment?
No, because that talk only feeds, if that guy got the talk, that feeds the fear, attitude, anger, resentment, what is that word? Prejudice against the police. So that talk is counterproductive, I say.
Oh, no, definitely. That's what I'm saying. I was just wondering if you think it's a fair assessment that he had the talk with his mama.
Oh, yeah, probably so. I think that is a fair assessment. Maybe not.
I feel like, I mean, obviously the single motherhood thing is a detriment to the young male, but just filling their mind with that poison when they're children, like almost babies.
Right.
Like, it's just really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have already talked about it a lot, so I'll let you go. I just wanted to throw that in there, that I think that's a huge factor of why he behaved the way he did.
That's so true, man. You look at these celebrities. Who's that gal who was... she was in Person of Interest. She was in, like, Hidden Figures. She's black. She was in all these different things. She claimed that her son was harassed by UCLA police, but it was like Glendale or something. And she said that they treated him badly when they treated him very nicely. But she just jumped in with a tall tale of blacks being mistreated. And they released the body cam footage or the footage. And they caught him with pot, but they let him go. They were so nice to him.
And I think there's a huge difference. We live in two different worlds.
Yeah.
Normal people don't like crime, and they know what crime is. I think blacks have a huge issue with what they view as crime.
Right.
They can push it as far as they want to go, and it's okay. Whereas the rest of us don't act like that.
Yeah, true. And there are educated blacks who are so bad to their children. There have been like famous black comedians, relatively famous black liberal comedians who've talked about brainwashing their children with the racism thing. Some of these black writers and academics and propagandists and lawyers and females, and professors, they're pushing that filth on their children. That's why I suggest we be kind of understanding of the blacks, grown adults who don't think straight because they've been brainwashed in their whole world from a young age. The media, their family, all that.
Not to do like personal attacks or whatever, but that sounds like maybe Joe's mother or father.
Could be. Yeah, it totally could be. A lot of blacks nowadays, they think that the civil rights movement was a good thing. And it sounds like Joe falls for it too.
Well, I'm about to get into a kind of a hairy spot in the road, but I just wanted to check in. Are you working on your death metal voice?
No, I haven't done anything. I've been lazy.
All right. Well, I hope that you have some time to work on that soon.
I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you, Alex, in California. Thanks. Great call.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Very nice. Very nice. Mark in Los Angeles, California, on the line here. Mark, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
That's the longest hold I've ever been on, an hour and a half. And I was the first call.
How do you know? Wait. You're going to make a claim you were the first call. How do you know you were the first call?
I called at 9 o'clock. You weren't even there yet.
That doesn't mean that you were the first call.
Oh, so they called before 9? Thank you. I'll do that from now on. I thought
no, it doesn't mean that you're the first call, though.
Well, I couldn't have been more than the second.
You're a grown man. You're a grown man complaining.
I know. Okay.
I accept your apology. You apologize, right? I accept it.
Yeah. I just want to say this. Yesterday, when, I don't know, one of your low IQ guys called in.
Mark.
I'm angry all the time.
Mark.
Okay, I'll take that criticism.
Mark.
But that doesn't mean that anything I've ever said was untrue.
Mark.
You could call me names, call me angry if it makes you feel better, but it doesn't take away from the fact that what?
You cut the side comments, calling them low IQ and all that. It's immature.
Why? They are.
I gotta go, Mark. Nice talking with you. Thank you for the call.
You censor me.
I do, because you should be. Right. You should be. Oh, he hung up. He clicked on me. Just call Mark Frederick. Mark and Frederica are two peas in a pod. I noticed this. I noticed that Frederick from Los Angeles and Mark, incidentally also from Los Angeles, neither of them normal white. Mark Irish and aggressive. Those Irish, they are aggressive. I love the Irish. And Frederick, black, Pharaoh. They both avow the same thing that I disavow. Lynching. Extrajudicial bringing people to quote-unquote justice. Mark calls it bringing them to justice. Frederick, yesterday, refused to disavow black people distrusting police, not wanting criminals to be in the jail cell where they can't get to them, but leaving them out in the streets, not involving the police so that they can hurt them. More than hurt them, take their lives. That's called lynching. and I disavow it. I'm for civilization. Be civilized. Be mature. Disavow stuff that's supposed to be wrong. I get that you can call it street justice, and I've called lynching a form of street justice. And that's something that the blacks and the Hispanics, they do all the time. So what, it's only wrong when whites do it against one of them? Whites did it to fellow whites too, by the way. And blacks did it to fellow blacks too. And I don't know, maybe they strung up some whites too. I disavow it, but they don't. One, because he doesn't trust the justice system because it's anti-white and it's caters to blacks. And the other because he doesn't trust the police or the justice system because he's a communist. 2 peas in a pod. 2 peas in a pod. Doom Jesus says, Mark likes to pretend this is his show. Did you hear him complaining? Oh, I was the first, that's my longest hold, an hour and a half. People are on hold for a long time sometimes. And sometimes they're not on hold a long time. And I do appreciate the calls. But you got to grow up. And I agree that Jeff from Louisiana once recommended anger management. No, there's no managing anger. Hake felt guilty for puppeting him. He doesn't look like this, okay? But look at this. Too much childish stuff on the Hake report, including Hake himself. I totally like Mark and his topics and all that stuff. Spoiler alert says, Mark's calls were better when it wasn't all about responding to other callers. Indeed. Indeed. That's a fact. Is Frederick in the chat? Is he there? Frederick. I believe that Frederick has this secret, because he used to be a Marxist, justification for lawlessness. And if you follow that line of reasoning, oh, I don't trust the police. We need justice. So we're not going to, and we can't trust the police. What else is there but this lawlessness? No, we want civilization. I'm not for what's happened to Derek Chauvin. I think that it was wrong and politically motivated. But we have to have peace. As Trump said, after, on January 6th, we have to have peace. We have to have peace. Howdy, Ponto King. Nice to see you over on the Facebook crew. Hake's a beta male. All right. But isn't that somewhat interesting of an observation? They both believe the same thing. One of them black, one of them white. Irish is white, I guess. Angry Mark from Los Angeles. I told him, don't call them low IQ. Why not? They are. You're a grown man. You're older than me. Oh, maybe. Complaining. Mark and Frederick agree. They just disagree on whom should be the object of justice, probably. Thank you, Johnny. He says, love you, Hake. Irish is whiter than you, Hake. Indeed. Irish is not white, says the Scot. Yeah, that's right. Hake is part Scottish. I am Scottish and Danish. Anyway, Carl, a first-time caller in Massachusetts, is on the line here. Carl, thank you for calling and holding, man. Turn off your speakerphone.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, Lord have
can you hear
mercy.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
Okay.
don't cuss either, if you can't help it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. We're giving him a little grace. Go ahead.
I just want. Oh, fuck me.
Hold on. Oh. I gotta go, Carl. Call me again when you get your stuff together. Poor Carl. Sorry, kids, ladies. He didn't know that he's not supposed to cuss. Call me again, Carl. I totally like your attitude. I hung up on him. And cussing is not funny, kids. Lord have mercy. Jaime in Minnesota. Been on hold forever. Jaime, thank you for calling and holding there. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Hake?
Doing well.
What a beautiful day it is, huh?
Indeed. Yeah.
Cool. So, Kamala Harris and Big Donnie D tonight.
Yeah.
Fight night. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Right. Yeah. True. You think so? I don't know if it will. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like predictions because predictions always go wrong.
She prosecuted transnational gangs. Come on.
Yeah, good for her.
It's going to be good.
What a mess.
Yeah. But with that guy that got pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, Tyreek
He's not
Hill.
a celebrity.
Yeah.
Britney Spears is a celebrity.
Oh, come on. Hake is a lightweight celebrity.
And she got pulled over by the cops earlier this year, and they showed the cop cam of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I'm so disappointed
pulled
in
out
her.
of the car.
Oh, really? Well, she has lower T.
For sure.
And she didn't get the talk. But you're right. The attitude is a lot. I almost said attitude is everything.
Yeah. But Ketanji Brown Jackson, if she wore a wig, I think she'd be more mildly attractive. She's got that natural hair, and it's all dry and kinky.
I don't know. She fashions it in a way that's whatever.
I think if she wore a wig,
I don't like the black women who are wearing wigs. I like their normal hair. Just do something. Do it up in a different way. She could have done.
If she like,
because she didn't just leave it natural. She put braids and stuff. So I don't know, man. Whatever. Moving on.
She took care of it. Put some nice oil on it. A hot comb.
Yeah. Nice.
There's a lot of things these black women can do with their hair to make it look nice, and she's just letting it all hang out. Really too bad.
No, I mean, anyway, nice. Well, thank you, Jaime in Minnesota. Very informative.
Hey, one other thing about Minnesota. During COVID, we had this program called Feeding Our Children, and the federal government was giving us the states money so that they could feed the kids, 17 and younger.
Wow, that's old to be feeding them.
Right. And, there was a scam going on here in Minnesota.
I bet.
Where, a lot of people were saying that they were doing that, but they weren't, and they were just collecting the money.
Oh.
But it was a lot of Somali people who were part of the scam, but also the leader, kind of the head honcho, was a woman, a white woman.
Yeah.
And she even, the Department of Education here in Minnesota started to ask questions, starting to be like, hey, this is really suspicious.
Uh-huh.
And that woman, she sued for racism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
But, they stole millions of dollars.
That's why you don't fund stuff with all that money, because it's too much of a temptation.
Right. And it was all under Mr. Waltz's nose.
Wow. Interesting, man. Thank you for this story tip.
Yeah. You got it. Have a good day.
Appreciate you, man. Take care. Bye. Hayden in Texas on the line here. Hayden, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well. Thank you.
Yeah, so you brought up the 1/3 of black men that have a felony conviction yesterday. I was gonna bring that up last week, but I forgot. That is 100% true, and that debunks all the misinformation spread by your demon callers, like they call it.
Yeah.
100% true. 100% true.
Yep.
Second off, Trump did say that he wanted to be on dictator on day one for 1 day. He did not say day one like he was going to be a dictator
and
for the
forever.
entire 4 years.
Yeah, I know, huh? Yep. That's
Just
true.
For 1 day.
Yeah,
to get the country back on track.
Yeah. Right. And who cares? Lord have mercy. You got to be pretty twisted in the head to think that Trump has ill intent or is all power hungry. Nothing about Trump screams power hungry to me. He likes to win, but he likes the country to win. He has goodwill for the country. Anyway, whatever. Go ahead.
It's all misinformation. Hey, I got another call coming. Let me call you back tomorrow, okay?
Okay, nice talking with you, Hayden. Appreciate you, man.
Bye. You, Hank. Bye.
Lord have mercy. Glad you got the point in. Nice points, though. Short and sweet. I like calls like that. Short and sweet. Derek in Tennessee is on the line. Derek, thank you for calling, man. What's
James.
Up? Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Am I allowed to call myself low IQ? I think sometimes I have my moments.
Yeah,
what's
you
wrong
can.
with you, Derek? Interesting thing happened this week. By the way, I disavow how you guys tease Hassan about his dog. That's something else entirely. But that wasn't totally unexpected. But my dog died this week, and I had her since she was a puppy. She was 15, and I've been trying to work on myself, and it was real interesting because it was just this little example. I'm like, well, I've got something to do, and I think not the old me, but the not me would have called a bunch of people and boo-hooed about it. And I sat there and I was like, well, I didn't know what to do. So I made one phone call to my uncle. Uncle Mike is a guy that'll tell you how the cow ate the cabbage. He's had dogs before. And I go, and he didn't grow up on a plantation, but grew up poor with animals. And when it was time for the dog to go, they did it themselves. And I'm not sure I would have had the stiff upper lip to do that. But
wow.
I just thought about it, and I called him, like, how do you know it's time? And I talked to him, like, yep. And that same day, I called someone. They came over and kept us. And it wasn't like there was any efforts there. Like, I just kept a stiff upper lip about it all.
Yeah.
And then I boo-hooed it after they left for a minute. But it's kind of like Jesse says, like, I just kind of leaned into it for a minute. And then it was just, and I made sure to tell Uncle Mike, I go, don't be telling my mom or dad that this is happening because I don't want to get into all of it. I'm like, I'm just calling you for advice. And he's like, no problem.
Nice.
And then I just
so you put him to
moved
sleep.
On. Yeah.
You had somebody come
he
over.
Did.
So you didn't take him to the vet to put him to sleep. You had somebody come over and put him to sleep.
Yeah, they had a service that could come over, and it happened all real fast, and that was that. And
wow.
So,
you bury him? You bury him?
Oh no, they put her in a little box.
Oh, okay.
So it came with service. So
nice.
She's sitting over there right now looking at me. But I was like, I think if this had happened a year ago, I'd be still sobbing and calling people about it.
Yeah.
And it's just been crazy just sitting here. You don't even like not want to have small talk about dumb stuff anymore. And I didn't. If you would ask me a year ago, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get through that.
Yeah.
And I think Jesse's like, it's weird. I'm like, yeah, this is so weird. Like, and I don't know, man. I just got to tell you and your team, thank you for everything you've done for me. It's been unbelievable, and it's just life's getting better every day.
That's
every day
cool,
gets
man.
better. So it is cool. It's really cool, and it is really weird. It's like, what is going on? And I can't. I just can't imagine. There's being able to kind of start to see a little bit things like, but I just can't. I'm almost in shock. I was like, wow, you handled that real well, and then I got right back to work, and it was just like, okay, well, I'm like, I guess that's that, and I don't know. It was real strange in like a real lovely way. So that's basically it. I just wanted to thank you and Jesse and the whole team there. I really do appreciate everything you're doing for me.
That's cool, man. Thoughts are the thoughts are a setup. You're thinking something is really a bigger deal than it really is, and oftentimes your life is like better after something like that happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I will do that. I'll find that because I do. I notice when I'm walking through doors, and I do all those, like, I'm doing those little things, but then I'll start saying something like, I am this or I am that. I'm like, oh, that's not you at all.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, no big deal. Just let it go. It's like no big deal. And it's like things are just, it's indescribable.
Yeah.
I'm just really humbled and grateful for all the work you're doing, and I really appreciate it, just so you know.
Great report, Derek in Tennessee. Appreciate you, man.
Awesome. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, he got me with the click. I was a little slow. Slow Hake. Guys, there I go again. Saying guys. Joelle Friday TV is coming up next. By the way, spoiler alert says that scammy food for kids program is called Feeding Our Future, according to him, which sounds like something that they would call it, right? Joelle Friday TV, is he scheduled? It's in a woman to know. Joelle Friday coming up next, everybody. And once again, I am not sure, but I think I may be on that show later today. We'll see. Anchor Baby is going to be streaming. Oh, oops, I typed Nick. Did I type Nick? I meant to type Joelle. But Nick is going to be live as well. We got to end. Thank you guys for your super chats. I will have to get to them, to any other ones that I did not get to another day. Let's see what I can play over here. Let's do Squad 5-0. Fight the system, right? Fight the system. We'll see how this goes, all right? Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Bye.
We gotta fight the system. We gotta fight the system.
It's Christian.
We gotta fight the system. We gotta fight. We gotta fight the system. We gotta fight. We gotta fight the system. We don't. We all give it up like this far, but we're ready again. Fight the system. The system. We can fix it. And never turn in the end. There's no turning back. It's Christian and we're pushing back.
We gotta fight the system.
We gotta fight. We gotta
the system of sin.
We gotta fight. We gotta fight the system. We gotta fight. We gotta fight the system.
Cringing hard to this.
Fight the system. Fight the system. Fight the system.
We'll give up till they give in. Fight. Christian ska, indeed. All right, guys. Peace in the Middle East. Bye. And again, Joelle Friday next. See you later.